And what it's doing, it's helping that table. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Tracy, and today is September 16th. And my hay season has come to a halt. I got 3 cuttings. The last one wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, so there needs to be more fertilizer put down. But here in Indiana, fall is approaching, that's for sure. But I want to finish the video of the 8000 Ford. It's still going to be used. You'll be able to see it. I enjoy driving it. It's very comfortable. And it's got more of the horsepower that it needs to run the Holscher and the baler both, 95 PTO. It just handles it so much better. The other smaller tractor, I'm still using it to load with, and it's more of the utility size. It can still do both, but more so using it for the utility side. But in the video, I'll try showing you some pieces where I started putting it back together. Working on an 8000 Ford tractor, and this is the top plate of the transmission. 1969 to 1971. It was probably after that to 75. Anyways, this piece right here is for the transmission parking brake, so that it locks the transmission up and it won't, move on you. Well, inside here is a ball bearing that goes in there and a spring, and I lost it. Well, I didn't lose it. It fell out at some time before I bought the tractor, and I've made something up. Took a bolt, I believe it's 1/4-inch bolt, hardened steel, and a nut, welded it together right here, and then got this spring, and I'm going to try to put it back up in there. And then what it has to do is it has to travel right here and bounce up, and then travel over to the next one when it's locked in gear and locked out of gear. We'll see what happens here. Okay, what I'm doing is, there's the spring, putting it in there first. Then I'm going to lift that spring up in there and then put this piston that I've made up in there. It's hard to do holding my hand at the same time. If you see this piston has where the 1/4-inch is at, that's where that spring, I'm going to set it over there. It kind of holds it in place so the piston can go up and down. Okay. Managed to get the right spring in there, and I've got the finger tension. I don't know if I want any more than that. That's pretty good. We'll see what this does. There, it's in there. Nice. I like that. It's not going to go past this. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think I want too much tension. But you can feel it lock. That's what I want. I won't call that good. Use it for my transmission brake lock. It's emergency brake park, and it locks the transmission up when you start it. So it's good to go. All right, you've seen me working on that lever for the top plate. Also, there's a rod that goes into that lever, and that rod activates this rod that I'm zooming in on. And it goes through that hole, and then there's going to be a washer and a snap ring key. But that arm goes down where I'm zooming in again into that sprocket. And that sprocket's got them really heavy slotted area, and it locks that transmission. You can't get it into high or low. And it's great to have, because if you're parked on a hill and you put it in neutral and then you set that parking brake, you'll actually hear it click and it stops the entire tractor. It is awesome. It works great. I'm glad I worked on it. I'm not sure if everything works the way it should where I showed you the lever on the plate, but it works. I'm just happy that it works. It's safe. I trust it. What I've decided to do now, I've tried peeling that and it's not working. It's a pretty hard bolt. So the only option left to do now is finish drilling that out and the old threads of the manifold and put a 3/8 helicoil in there. So now I'm going to use a 25/64 drill bit and then tap it so the helicoil fits down in there, and then I will use a green thread locker to tighten the thread helicoil to the manifold so that it doesn't move. Got the helicoil in place, you can see it there, and then I ground down the face of that flange for the manifold, and the muffler can bolt down to it so the gaskets will seal properly. After I finished getting that manifold ready to mount the muffler, I took a piece of paper and I laid it down on top of that manifold, and then used my hand and rubbed around the areas where the sharp edges are, and I got a light image because my hands got a little bit of grease on them, and it shows up. So then I took the pencil and I penciled in that area that you see right there. Now I'm cutting it out. I want to make a pattern, and when that pattern I have it, then I want to trace that to a piece of copper, and then I drill the inside of it out first, the copper, and then use tin snips to cut around the outside. And I'll show you a picture here real quickly of what it looks like when it's bolted to the manifold. It's sandwiched in between two other pieces of high temperature gasket, and then I use stainless steel bolts to thread it down, hold it in place as anchors. This picture here is of the valve control for the remotes, the hydraulics that allow you to lift and lower implement equipment. There's a seal back in that block behind this cap, and this cap has a shaft and some springs and snap rings. It is really difficult to work on, but the seals that are up in there further, I could not get them anymore. I had to go to McMaster-Carr to get the seals. Tractor's running. Took a little while. Had to prime the injector pump. There's a PTO spinning. And I checked the hydraulics. You can see that the hoses are hooked up to the remote on the back of the tractor. And there's no leaks where I put them new seals in. Before it was leaking really bad. So everything is all buttoned up and there's no leaks. I think later I did fix that fuel line. I had a little pinhole in it, but it's not showing up right now. But I got a lot more to do, the sheet metal work. I've showed some video of it earlier doing the sheet metal work. It's running. All together and painted with Empire Blue, and the stickers are from George Brandish. The tractor's running really good. I'm mowing with it right now and using the dual power. I really like it when I need that horsepower at a slower speed, and possibly baling hay if somebody wants to use it for chopping silage, I'm sure this works really good. There's a trick to it also when you use it in high. I'm going to show some video of when I use it in high, the transmission selector. Working pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clutch it. I'm going to clutch it, and then I'm going to push low while the clutch is in, and then that dual power transmission goes to low, and the clutch is pushed in. There's no downforce on the clutch hub drive. So now I shift it back into 7th, and I'm in low to take off and waiting on traffic. You repeat the same thing all over, but I always like pushing that clutch in and kind of do an almost stop, slowing down with the clutch in, and then I push that high side on the dual power. There we go. This is a picture of the two valves that control the dual power. As you can see, the one on the right is the older style, and there's a crack right there in the center where the tubing threads into it. The one on the left is the newer one. It's just way beefier, and the components are the same, and that's the valve that I installed. Alright, I'm in 3rd gear, 1400 RPMs. On the dual power. What I'm going to do, valve is about where it trips the lever to bring the hay up. So I'm going to pull up. Now watch the bed of the holster. It's going to stay up for a long time, and there's a reason why. I'm going to explain it here next after this clip. Last year, using this Holscher 1000, this bar right here was this length, and the newer units, they're longer. So what I did is I added on to it, and what it's doing, it's helping that table stay up longer so that the hay can drop off of here, and then the table will come down instead of scattering the bales of hay. So that right there, that addition to this bar right here, when it activates the table to come up, it works great now. The hydraulic flow, I wound up turning it down because it was too fast. I wound up going only about a quarter of the way up, and it worked really well with that Holscher accumulator. I want to thank everybody that has watched the videos of this tractor being tore down and worked on, put together. If you haven't hit the like button and you did like these videos, please do push the like button and subscribe. I'm wanting to do more videos like this. I know, need to do more welding. I'm a retired pipe fitter welder, and I kind of wish I chose this trade to work on tractors. But until then, we'll see you again on the next video. Thank you.